Hey everyone, so this is my 2012 Ninja 250. Loving it so far. At about 2,800 miles on it. So far averaging about 65 miles to the gallon. That's with 1541 sprocket change. Just last night I put on this Leo Vinci Corsa exhaust. Very simple to put on. Highly recommended. All you really need is a metric wrench to get the old exhaust off. Just be careful here not to scratch anything. I sort of left some residue there, but it took me about 30 minutes to put on. The only thing that I had difficulty with was getting this bracket on, because you have to push the bolt all the way through there and it's really sort of tight. And then you need to put this other larger bolt on right there that you can see. So threading that through and compressing this and then getting that rear nut on was sort of difficult. I had someone help me with that, but other than that, I almost just burnt myself. I paid $195 for this with shipping from Revzilla, which I think is an awesome deal given the finish and finish of this carbon fiber. They have the aluminum one for $165 shipped. Obviously everyone looks at the Two Brothers and other more expensive exhausts, but really I think this is just as attractive, if not more attractive, than the Two Brothers, and way less expensive. So I really recommend this. I don't see why you'd get a Two Brothers for way more money, or any other Yoshimura pipe or anything like this. So I'm going to fire this up. I just rode about 30 miles home from work, and I'll try to get you a decent video here of the quality of this exhaust. It is way loud. It's really fun. It's loud when you peg it, but you can cruise comfortably and not have it be obnoxious. But if you want to, make your presence known, just drop down gear 2 and rev it up, and it'll scream. And this is with the baffle in it too. As you can see, you can just remove it by loosening that nut and taking it out. I haven't actually ridden it without the baffle on. It's loud enough for me the way it is. I kind of live in a quieter community, so it's not something I want to do. I may take it out eventually just to check it out, but I'm going to fire this up here, and hopefully it gives you a decent idea of what this sounds like. This is a cell phone camera, so as always, these don't really truly represent the sound of these slip-ons, but let's just fire this up. Should be pretty warm here. I only have the one rim strip on there right now. I had to put the other one on. It looked pretty nice, but do a walk around here. So let's rev her up a little bit. Just idling a little low. I don't want to. Little hesitation there. Now you might notice, let me turn it off. So yeah, it's pretty obnoxious, and that's with the baffle in too. So I don't even want to know what it would be like without the baffle on. One thing that you may notice, a lot of people when they put these slip-ons on, they say, "Oh, I have backfiring with deceleration when I rev it pretty well, and then I come off of it, and you get a little backfire." So it hasn't been too much of an issue with my bike. I get a little bit of it, but it hasn't really been problematic for me. I'll probably at the very least shim, if not rejet. So I'll do that eventually, but it hasn't been problematic for me. A lot of people say they actually lose mileage with these slip-ons, and I thought, my first 30 so miles that was actually happening to me, and I was quite disappointed. But, I just rode back 30 miles, and I barely used any gas. Then again, I was cruising around 50 in 6th gear. I think around 50, with the 1541 setup, I'm averaging about 6,000 RPM. So it's a great setup if you want to, if you do a lot of commuting and you drastically want to reduce your RPMs, for fuel efficiency, and it really does work well. I think, I was averaging about 55 without the sprocket change, and then I started averaging about 65 with the sprocket change, and I just put this slip-on on, and I think I might be around 70 to 75. I have to go through a full tank, but I think it's going to be exponentially better, which is surprising. And maybe be the fact that it's running a little lean since I put the slip-on on, but I think this is really going to boost my miles per gallon substantially. So I'm really pumped about that. Another thing is, to be honest with you, I haven't put air in these tires since I got them. I got the bike on August 13th, so a little over a month now. I really haven't put any air in them. So that'll probably, once I put some air in them, if they're low, that'll probably increase my miles per gallon too. Wear on these tires, these stock tires really are pretty trashy. I can't wait to get rid of them, but I'm going to run them down. Hasn't been an issue so far. I've ridden on them pretty aggressively through some canyon roads in Arizona, so there's a lot of good stuff around here. That hasn't been an issue yet. Tires are okay, but I'm sure once I get some good Pirellis on them, I'll realize what I was missing out on. Another thing is I changed my compression back here on the rear shock. I think I have it on a 4. I think it comes stock at 1, but I have it on 4. I'm about 175 pounds, and handling is much improved. So I recommend doing that too. It's easy to use the tool, and that's provided in your seat here. It's a little difficult. I'd be careful. I'd wear gloves because it can slip off very easily, and you could jam up your hand pretty well there. What else did I do to this? Not much. I'm thinking about, I'm definitely getting the fender eliminator kit. This thing is horrid. It's disgusting. It's way ugly. I don't know if I want to get the seat cover here because I might take passengers sooner or later. I don't know what else I want to do. I might want to get the Corsa digital gauge here. I really like those since this is so chav, but I don't know. I might just keep this for about a year, then trade it in, and having the digital meter on there without the original mileage is probably a big negative. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I might end up just keeping this bike. I mean, I got a bike in the first place for commuting. I commute 60 miles a day, and this is just perfect. If you go up to 600, your mileage isn't that much better than the car, so what's the point? You just have a motorcycle. You're charging a motorcycle and spending just as much as gas as a car. Not quite as much, obviously, but so I might just keep this, and I might trick it out a little bit, get some different clutch levers. These are my hands aren't that big. These are, look at this. This is one complaint I have about this bike. Look at the fit quality on that. It's really just loose. You're not going to get that on the CBR, I don't think. So I'm going to switch these out, get some adjustable aluminum, probably red, maybe just a nice graphite or black. Probably change the windshield out, but I don't know. I've been caught in rain, and I've been tucked in under this, trying to shield myself from the rain. So it is practical little shield. Darkening it out, blacking it out, whatever. That's obviously just for aesthetics. What else? I don't know what else. This bike's been pretty awesome so far. I haven't had any problems with it at all. 0.0. It does have a little difficulty starting up sometimes, but I've never not been able to get it started. It generally starts right up, usually with some choke. Let's see. Now she should be warm, but watch, it's not going to start up that easily. See, it kind of hesitates. It takes a little while. But yeah, it always starts up. As mechanics like say, these are cold-blooded. Overall, awesome bike. well worth it. You know, I bought this brand new, and I definitely took a hit with freight and fees and tax and all that other jazz. And I probably paid way more for this bike than I needed to. I would definitely recommend, if you're getting your first bike, to buy it used. You save yourself a ton of money. I mean, I'm not even going to say what I owe on this loan, but it's probably way more than I had to have financed. It's not an inordinate amount of money, but I could have saved a lot more if I had bought used. But I just wanted something new. It was my first bike. And, you know, now 2013, they came out and restyled them, new engine, new everything. You know, that's kind of pissed me off, because I bought it a month before they announced the new styling. So I was like, are you kidding me? But I still think this is a pretty sleek ride, and then, you know, I might get a white racing stripe across it. It's still a nice looking bike, and it should stay a relevant design for a few more years. But the 2013s are definitely nice. But I suspect that you're definitely going to pay a premium for them the first few months they're out, because they're obviously going to be in demand. So, you know, with that being said, these older generation bikes now might be able to get yourself a hell of a deal on one of them if you're just getting into riding. But I mean, I really couldn't. You know, I was thinking about getting a more powerful bike. I was originally going to get a Ducati, but you know, the insurance is ridiculous, and I think I pay $50 a month now for insurance on this. Which isn't bad. I had a scooter a year ago, and I was paying $50 on that. So, you know, I'm paying $50 for this now. You know, obviously I understand people pay a lot less for that. The older guys, you know, $18 a month, maybe even less than that, but they've had their motorcycle license for a while. And I have not. I just got my motorcycle license, I think, 2 days ago. And so I had my permit, took my permit test, and I was riding about a month. And then I went and took my license test. And it was actually way tougher than I thought. I went online and got the PDF and looked at the test. And I said, oh, it looks reasonable. And there's, you know, cone weave. And I was expecting them, you know, it's going to be a total joke. But it was not a total joke at all. The cones are actually pretty close. Quite close, actually. And there's some pretty tight U-turns. It was kind of intimidating. I wasn't sure I was going to pass it, but I did. Because you're weaving through cones at just a few miles an hour, maybe like 2-3 miles an hour. And, you know, bikes are stable once they get up to speed. So you need to have decent throttle and clutch control. You know, with this bike, as long as you're going above like 1-2 miles an hour, you're not going to stall out. You can almost let go of the clutch. It's going to lurch a little bit, but it's okay. I'm definitely happy I took the test on a 250 for sure. Made it a lot easier. But so it was sort of tough if you're going to take your motorcycle license test. I know it varies by state, but I know a lot of states are similar. Just get some cones and put them maybe like 3 feet apart. I know they were staggered before, but not the cones are in a straight line. Get 5 cones, put them maybe 3 feet apart, and, you know, practice weaving through them. The other difficult thing was the U-turn. It wasn't super tough, but it's just sort of tight. Other than that, then, you know, you just have a stop test where you get up to 10 miles an hour. Once you pass a line, you have to stop as quickly as possible. You're allowed to skid if you have to. That wasn't a problem. And then the last part of the test is you get up to speed again. Once you pass the line, you don't stop, but this time you either swerve right or left. And that was easy too. So the only semi-difficult things are the cone swerves and the U-turns. But I think most people who have moderately good riding skills should be able to pass the test no problem. So that's about it. I don't know what else to talk about here. Super happy with this exhaust. You can get on Revzilla. Again, $195 shipped to you. I ordered it on a Saturday. It was shipped out Monday, and I got it Wednesday via FedEx. So excellent customer service, super fast shipping, extremely easy installation. They say this pipe is, you know, tuned specifically to work with the Ninja 250's default factory carb settings, and I think that's pretty. There's some truth to that. I haven't had too many problems. Like I said, a little bit of backfiring, nothing problematic. Ultimately, I'll probably end up shipping at the very least, if not getting full rejet. Just hate paying mechanics $80 an hour to do it. It's sort of brutal. But, yeah, I mean, if you have the money, do all this stuff. I'd recommend putting some new tires on it too. But, you know, if you want to learn how to do your burnouts, do it on these tires. I learned how to do them on these tires, squinting it out a bit. Although I've not been able to do wheelies, I just can't get done. I only get the front tire off a little bit and with the pegs. But in any event, that's about it. Talk to you guys later.